So tell me about as you went into university and then starting to decide what you wanted to do. Like a lot of times people will think that they know what they want to do. When I first went to university, I thought, okay, I'm going to be a solicitor because that's what everybody does. And, I knew I didn't want to be a doctor. Everybody in my family worked in a hospital. I was terrified of blood, hated hospitals. So I knew that's not going to happen. So I thought, all right, I'll do the other thing that I only knew about. But it wasn't until I was at university where I started to get exposure to different things. And I started to really understand the different possibilities. But tell me about what going into university, your studies, and sort of what you started to think you wanted to do, and sort of how the career journey started after that.
Yeah, that's so interesting, because thinking back, I had no idea about possibilities, and obviously none of us can predict the future. So I wasn't conservative. I think I was thinking about all these different options, but they range from, one thing I really wanted to do was actually become a pharmacist in the tropics in Africa, and actually work there and set up very sort of basic but effective little factories to create to distribute medicines and make sure people had the right medicines there. But in a way, I found out that I didn't want to become a proper pharmacist. I was too interested in the research and in the puzzle and trying to understand how the body worked. So I let the other idea go and focus on research. So I completed the studies and immediately went for some traineeships abroad. So I was keen to do research. I worked for a research institute in France. So I moved from the Netherlands to France to do an initial sort of year of an internship, essentially, at the research institute of a French, actually it was an American company. It was really interesting. And then I discovered that I was really going to focus on, I did actually, this was ages ago, it was 1990. So I did something called computational biology. So I was already doing what you call molecular modeling of three-dimensional models, essentially, of proteins. But it was so early days. We had computers the size of fridges that now fit in a telephone, It's like, it was totally, if we think of today, it would have been like science fiction to me then. But I was really interested in doing the modeling and seeing what was possible. But then I went to Switzerland and decided to do my PhD research there, because research had become my thing. I was really interested in the brain, as I mentioned, and so I started to work in the lab where LSD was invented, actually. So I was literally standing in the lab where Albert Hofmann created LSD and tested it for the first time. I never did that, but I did work with lots of products to understand also how new proteins in the brain were responsible for behaviors, for diseases, and how you could interact with those and modify behaviors and diseases. So that was really what I was doing. Very much based on something that you could call today molecular neuroanatomy or something, but very much based on what the functions in the brain were. I worked with amazing academics and scientists there, and I loved that. And so that became my life for a while. And my vision was, oh yes, I'll be head of research of a large organization, because that's what I can do. I discovered actually I was quite creative. I could come up with lots of new ideas. I could understand I could really quickly associate things. So I was like, yeah, I can do that. I can become a head of research, thinking that I would enjoy large organizations and big management structures. Something that I think I changed my mind on a bit later. But so that's what I did. And that's what I thought I was going to be doing for quite a while.